And I'll tell you guys since we're all friends. Every character I write has a piece of me in them. Hi, I'm Lee Bardugo. You're listening to the GrishaCast.
Welcome to GrishaCast, episode 76. In this episode, we will be discussing episode 7 from Netflix Shadow and Bone, The Unseen. This is your host, Eric.
And I'm Terry. From Nashville, Tennessee, this is your podcast for all things Grishaverse.
A world created by the patron saint of true 90s goth, Lee Bardugo. Moi Savayenyi casters.
Hello.
Woo. Let's get right on into our listener cities.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
First, we have Lai Chi Kok, China.
Yay! And next, a place I've really always wanted to go.
Yes.
Sedona, Arizona.
Yes, please.
Oh my God. Yes. My very first boyfriend always talked about Sedona.
Oh.
I've never been. So anyways, for those of you that want to support our podcast a little more and reap the rewards, we now have Patreon.
Yay!
Each tier will receive a video from us and exclusive access to a new segment, GrishaCast After, where we talk a little bit about the Grishaverse and a lot about being best friends.
There are also tiers that grant you a co-producer and even a co-host status. Check us out at patreon.com/GrishaCast or follow the link at GrishaCast.com.
Whew! Yes.
Yes.
Well, real quickly, how have you been, girl?
I have been busy.
Yeah, you've been doing some stained glass and some art.
Yes. I already make soap.
Ooh.
And then I decided to get into stained glass because it was scary to me. And I like to do things that are scary.
Yeah.
And I cut myself right away. So,
Well, but that's great.
but yeah, so I think I'm getting the hang of it and I'm enjoying it. And it's actually become quite a hit in the few like little ones that I've made so far. So maybe,
Well, they're gorgeous.
maybe another business
Well,
prospect.
I think it's cool because you're conquering your fears.
Yes.
So that's what's amazing. And you're just going from one to the next. And
Yes.
I just keep reading. So
Fortunately,
Go you.
I've been reading too, but I'm set to graduate in December. So I've also been working my little tail off.
Mazel tov.
Thanks. I
Wow.
think.
You know what you should do? We're going to do you're going to have to make some stained glass about the Grishaverse. You're going to have to do some cool stuff.
I have thought about that.
Oh, girl, I got some ideas.
I actually sat down with our logo and I'm trying to figure
my
that
God.
one out. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That would be so cool.
Yep. I think I can do it.
Okay, so we are going to start off by playing a game that I came up with called Inferni Flame Word Association, which is just a word association, except it's Grishaverse style, GrishaCast style. And we did post one of these on TikTok, and we're going to post more of them on our Patreon. So we want to give you a little taste. So I have not told Terry about any of these words that I'm about to ask.
Nope. And
But-
if you watch YouTube, you will see the horror on my face with every single one of them.
Yeah, so rule of the game, I say a word, she's going to say the first thing that comes to her mind.
Terrifyingly.
Oh my God, but it's so great. Okay, so you ready, girl?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Gervanazel,
Toilet.
Izimrude,
Worm.
Black Heretic,
Darkling.
Merzost,
Magic.
Patron Saint of
Roses.
Nina,
Awesome.
Poppy,
Awesome.
the Unsee,
Terrifying as all get out.
Dunyasha,
Oh, feisty.
and Jesper.
Oh, he's cute.
Aw,
Oh.
well go. Go you, girl.
Yay.
You did good. Nothing too crazy or dirty or
No.
anything. That was good.
I mean, I can turn anything dirty.
I'm
but-
sure you can, but we ain't going to do that.
No, it's a family show.
So that very last one actually brings us to our Pride Month LGBTQIA Spotlight Character of the Week.
Pride Month.
Yes. So that character is Jesper.
Yay,
Woohoo!
Jesper!
So I am going to start off by just saying I love his character.
Yes.
I loved his character even more. Like the show brought him out more.
Yes.
But it was also a surprise to me when I started to realize that Jesper was fluid, bisexual.
Yes.
I mean, that was really cool. I really couldn't believe when I started reading, and I was like, is he hitting on Wyland?
I was so excited.
I know. And it's really cool. It's amazing to see representation. And I just love it. So Jesper definitely hands down. And in the show, come on, it's amazing.
It is.
He's so good. He's such a great character. He's going to be a great character watch. So
Yes, I loved him in the books, but the actor in the show has just brought him out so much, and I love it. And I also love there are rarely any bisexual characters in anything.
Yep.
So it's very exciting to have a bisexual character.
Absolutely. Representation is so important.
It is very much so.
So, and real quickly before we get started again, I just want to apologize about that little spoiler we had last week. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to do it.
Well, you know what though? Everything is a spoiler if you haven't read it. So
I
like
know.
anybody that hasn't read the books that we're going over the show with, like that's a spoiler to them. Anytime we're going over like the books beforehand, if you haven't read that part, that's a spoiler too. So
But for those people that are reading along with us, we hadn't read Rule of Wolves yet, so I understand. So we are sorry, very sorry. It won't happen again. We make mistakes. I've made so many. I talk about them often because, Lord. But anyways, hope you accept our apology and won't happen again. So
or it might.
Well, I'm gonna.
We'll try.
No, it is not. It is not. So. Anyways, let's just get into this episode. This was a great episode. I absolutely loved it, and I think I love it so much because of the very opening.
Yeah, it's a very I think I still liked last week's better, but
so I love this one because it opens with a flashback of the Darkling and his history, and it was so cool to me.
with a mullet.
Yeah. It was really neat. I was trying, we know that definitely this was a while ago, and we'll get into that. So we see the Darkling. Obviously, he's got a girl.
Yeah, he does.
Her name's Luda.
Luda.
And she is a healer.
Uh-huh.
And she kind of starts begging him, I guess, for she really wants to live longer. She obviously knows that he can live for a very long time. And she's like, I want an amplifier. I can live longer. And he keeps saying just you're mortal.
Yeah, she says something about I could live for 100 years. And he's like, you think that's a long time?
Right, exactly.
Which is I guess it is kind of weird because you could live 100 years in our
That is a very long time.
Kazatsio world.
But compared to him, who has been around
Centuries.
since the birth of the making at the heart of the world,
Right.
I feel. Anyways, this is really cool history. We've got, obviously, there's some soldiers that are out to kill the Grisha. They're in a place where, obviously, Ravka is not a place where, it hasn't been formed. The little palace hasn't been formed. There's not a safe haven for Grisha.
Mm-hmm.
They use the word witch often.
Mm-hmm.
So, apparently, the Darkling's been working with the king a bit and did something. I guess helped him in a war and probably used his powers. They don't say specifically, but the king, I guess, kind of got terrified. So these soldiers, anyways, come to the house where they're trying to get all their stuff together and run away, and he's getting in trouble for, I guess, training Grisha secretly. Okay, so this actually is just. It's interesting because it's just thinking about where we are now. And he kind of gets furious. They kill his girlfriend in front of him, and you could see which is crazy, he's really upset by that. For the first time we see him actually emotional. And they think that they've pretty much got him by putting him in these handcuffs and this piece of wood, and he just gets upset and pretty much. I don't know if this is the very first time. No, it's not. Sorry. He uses the cut on him.
Yes.
And kills all of them. Beheads all of those soldiers.
Like with one cut, he just goes, whoosh, and they all just.
So that brings us to our clip 1.
Flee. Go west. Go to Kerch. Wait for the king to die. Then return with a new name, a nobleman's name. Bide your time until there's a problem only Grisha can solve. Then the king must embrace us.
What about those in danger now? We need to safeguard all Grisha. We need to teach them how to fight.
Most Grisha aren't fighters. They fix things. They make things.
Then we make an army. Morozova did it. Forged new life to amplify our power. We are his bloodline. He made us too.
You mean to use Merzos? We practice the small science, not magic.
Channels are here. They're here in the archives.
No. You cannot control it.
I could create, just like he did.
Then you will die, like he did. It's unpredictable, unstable. The small science feeds as Merzos feeds on us. I forbid it.
Love it. Love
So
Bog.
clearly that wasn't in the book because
No.
we didn't have that background.
Right.
So that was kind of fun.
I love seeing Bagra, and I love the way Bagra explained it. You know, I mean, she kind of gave us a little bit more. I mean, just how, like, the Grisha powers feed them, as we know with Alina, but Merzost feeds on them. Like, so it's interesting. We don't know much about Merzost, right? I mean, we
Not
know
at this point.
Yeah, we just know that it's obviously another type of magic that doesn't really work well. I think it must be like creating things that like aren't there. Like, you know
Yes.
how like, because
Yeah,
like the
it's-
Grisha manipulate things that are there.
Right. It's like
That-
creating magic out of nothing.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bagra tells him that the reason they are being attacked is because he made the king afraid by using the power to win a war. And Grisha are not as strong as Bagra and the Darkling. They say that that because they are two specifically different type of people, and we will get further into that in some of the short stories. But Bagra and the Darkling are different types of Grisha, and we know that from what we've seen in the show. The Darkling is an amplifier. So, anyways, he then runs, and he's not obviously listening to Bagra, and he's set on this Merzos thing. So that takes us just to this picture 1 where I want to show. And he finds this picture where we can't read any of that.
Right.
But he starts reading it, and it's Mortzova's files, and it looks like he's just something.
Well, right before that, he says that he wants to start an army.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then she says something, and he said, well, then I'll make an army.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uber.
So then
It's good.
he goes digging through this like crusty box of old stuff, and he finds this crusty paper.
Yeah, which you can't make out at
No,
all.
you can't. But then he starts reading
He's reading
it.
it.
But then he gets interrupted
Yep.
because there are those soldiers again.
So the soldiers are back, and that takes us just to picture 2. And the reason I'm showing this, if you can see it, this is an old Etherealkai kefta. So I just thought it was neat to see how the kefta has changed over time. And it's just, that's like a old school kefta. They don't show a lot of that. Anyways, the soldiers surround the Darkling, and they're there to capture him. They're saying, "Hey, we're here to get you. We're gonna kill your mother. We know your mom's in there." And this, oh my gosh, takes me to probably one of my favorite things. And if you watched our Instagram, okay. So, clip 2, please.
I have no army to fight yours, so I shall remake yours as my own. Submit to...
That's some bad gas.
It literally goes up like a wall.
I love it. Love it. Like I thought, like my jaw dropped when I saw that because I've wanted to see that. That is so cool.
So are those soldiers the first Volca?
Yep. I totally, because you see,
Yeah.
like you can't really tell, but like
They
if you
start
watch them,
changing.
they start changing into like the skin starts turning gray. They start looking weird, and
And please watch that with headphones in because it makes the absolute worst sound ever.
yeah,
I
sorry.
did not hear that
Yeah,
before, but with the headphones in, ugh,
yeah.
it was nasty.
So that was just so cool. We then see the Darkling carrying Bogger
Yeah,
off.
He's like carrying his mom.
I know,
out
like
the-
I mean, really, like over his shoulder.
But this cracks me up because he sets her down like where they can see the fold. And it's basically like, look, Mom, look what I did. Do you like what I did?
Yeah,
And she does not.
yeah.
But it's like, she can't put that up on her fridge with a magnet.
I was just about to say the same thing. I was like, that is not one of those things you bring home and your mom like posts up.
But
Look
that's
at
what it reminded me of. Like he's like carrying his mom and then he's like, look,
Yeah, because she says, "What did you do?" And he's like, "I made something.
I made this.
Look, it's a big dark thing."
It cracked me up.
And I'm sure at that point he doesn't really know what's inside
No.
there, what the Volker
No.
turned into. So, anyways, that ends that flashback, which I just loved. And it takes us just straight to the next scene, which is we see the Darkling is hunting Alina. So
Yeah. And
um,
then like, it's like very, very
Yeah.
short.
Yep. So then we go to the crows.
The crows.
They're hiding. And Kaz admits that it's time to cut their losses and go.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's kind of given up, which is weird.
Yeah. You know that's not for real.
Inej and Jesper both are like, so you really like aren't gonna
Yeah.
Do-
We all
okay.
know. We all know.
yeah.
Come
So-
on, Kaz. You're not fooling anyone.
Right. So then we cut to
But Inej is stitching herself up in this.
Oh. yeah.
It's
So what
gross.
so explain to me. So like Jesper's talking to her, like, how did you learn that? And she says the menagerie.
Yeah. So I don't.
Why?
I think I don't know exactly what to say here, but I think because Jesper comes back with, "Oh, that's dark," I think maybe it's like there was like knife play involved in some of the things she had to do with these men,
Okay.
like that she had gotten hurt
Yeah. Okay.
with like knife play, or like they hurt her, or like
Is there knife play? Like, I mean,
yeah, that's a thing.
okay. I didn't know. I mean, I just thought that was just for death. So I didn't know.
I was gonna say you can Google that later, but please don't.
Okay, I won't. So then we go to our lovebirds in the woods. They're freezing their butt off.
Yes.
And, hold on, let me sip my tea. I hope y'all have your tea, by the way. Every episode we have our tea ready, and I hope y'all are enjoying it too. I mean, just get some tea,
Yeah.
enjoy.
So
okay.
Alina tells Mal at this point that like when they see it, like she has to be the one to kill it. And then Mal hears the magical little sound,
Yeah,
and
which
then there's the stack. Well, he explained that like he hears that sound around Alina.
I think that's interesting and neat.
It is, and it's like, so is Mal really an Okazatsia? If he can hear these things, but also that gave us a clue a while ago when he said that he could hear that around Alina, that Alina has always had something.
Yep. So that brings us to clip 3.
Ooh.
Yeah. See this.
What are you doing?
I need to get closer to it.
If we keep it alive, how do we
I
get...
don't know. Kerrigan didn't want me to have an amplifier. So he didn't teach me about this. Maybe there's another way to do this.
Well, that was a little loud in my
yeah.
earballs, but
So I thought that was neat because, I mean, that actually is kind of like a little bit of a hint. Alina's like, maybe there is something else.
yeah, and that happens in the book too, where she
Yeah.
doesn't want to kill the magical stag,
No.
and she goes up to touch it instead.
Yeah.
And I think in that moment she thinks, I have found a way to keep the stag alive,
Right.
and we can do it another way.
There's something else to it.
Yeah.
So obviously the Darklings people are there.
Yeah.
They come and, I mean, they injure Mal. Alina, excuse me.
They like put arrows like straight through him, like
yeah, he's
through
like,
his back, coming out the front.
yeah, he is like a cat with 9 lives because I don't know how this man has made it.
Seriously.
But Alina does protect. She then goes like, so the Darkling shows up, and then he's like, you know, like
He's starting to do the cut.
He's starting to do it, and she runs and puts.
Yeah, she like
The
guards.
bubble.
She guards the stag with like this light,
It's like her Glinda bubble.
and then so the Darkling is like, if you give me the stag, I will have a healer heal Mal.
Exactly. Yep.
And Mal is yelling at her to do it, kill the stag.
Yep.
And of course she doesn't.
Nope.
She runs over to Mal. Come on.
And then it's the most disgusting sound you've ever heard in your life.
When the Darkling uses the cut on the stag, and it's like head is like bleh.
I mean, you hear like bones crunch, like it's just like
it's really
okay,
nasty.
I like ugh.
But so he asks them to get him the antlers.
Yep.
And he does ask for a healer to heal Mal.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll get to
Yeah.
So then we go back to crows and
Kaz is cooking up some kind of critter.
I don't know what that is.
I
It looked
do
like
not
a
know.
rat.
I know it was like
A big rat.
a weasel. No, those are not good to eat. I've had that. Don't do that. But
wouldn't.
it is some sort of critter.
And it looks disgusting.
It is.
I could
It's
not
so gross.
eat that. I'm sorry.
No.
But he has this like important like Inej and Kaz have this nice little talk.
Oh yeah, because Inej is like, peace out.
Yeah, Inej tells Kaz she's leaving,
Mm-hmm.
and then he actually admits that she was right and says that, you know, I haven't believed that Alina was the sun summoner.
But do you think that that's for real though? Because what happens is Inej goes to walk away, and he like quickly goes, "You're right." So does he really think
I think
that
so.
it's the truth, or was he using that as a ploy to get Inej to come back?
Well, let's see. Clip 4 is after he tells her that, you know, he believes that Alina actually is the sun summoner. So clip 4, please.
What do you believe in?
Myself.
Why'd I even ask?
And you. And Jasper. My crows.
Because we flocked to your bidding. Like the animals of vengeance you named us after.
Crows don't just remember the faces of people who wronged them. They also remember those who are kind. They tell each other who to look after and who to watch out for. No saint ever watched over me. Not like you have.
Oh.
Wow. So it's a nice little moment they have. And
Yeah, that's very touching coming from Kaz.
yep.
But
and-
she's like, I can't go back there, and he promises her that she won't.
Yep. So that takes us to actually an exciting scene. We go to a Grisha tent. And it actually, in case you thought that we weren't going to do any more scenes, we are. Because I can't fill this entire podcast with videos. So we have decided to have a little fun. So this next part, we are going to be doing a scene. We're not going to have any music or anything, but we're going to be having fun with it. We will be saying the exact words they do in this scene. We might add a little fun to it. I might not sound like the Darkling at all. I might play a different character, but
There might be some overacting involved.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's what we do. I'm sorry, microphone. Yeah, I hit you. So, Alina will be played by Terry, and I'm going to be playing the Darkling. So, we will, however, if I can find it, yes, we will start with some crowd applause. So, I mean, you know, curtain up.
What are you doing?
I'm going to place this around your neck, says David.
I meant why? I didn't kill the stag. It's not my amplifier. He killed it. He gets the power.
You asked for this yourself when we met. You to transfer your gift to someone who could use it.
I can use it now.
You know so little. You'll learn.
I know things. General Kerrigan, is it? Or is Alexander a fake name too?
Careful with your words, Alina. Consider whose life is in your hands.
You said you'd let him go.
Ooh. Sorry. I said I would heal him. What happens next is up to you, hon.
None of this has been up to me.
Do you know the only thing more powerful than you or moi? The two of us. Together. Together, we can end all wars. We can protect our own. Is that not what you want?
Are we destroying the fold?
We can do anything, girl. Together.
What's happening? Wait, I don't understand. What?
Heartbeat, 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 heartbeat. Video 5.
That should bridge the gap. Yes. You should now have full access to all of her light. In theory.
This is my power.
But now I control it.
Well, ain't that a little something something?
Okay, so the antlers are gross.
Yeah. In the book, that's a collar, which I can deal with. But
It's just jewelry
yeah,
in the book.
in this,
Ugh.
it is like,
Ingrained into the skin.
and we had the smallest hints of this in the very first episode when we saw Zoya with like a bone.
But you
in her-
couldn't really
No, you had-
truly tell.
Yeah, like
Not
I mean,
this horror.
I mean, I saw it and I knew that was the amplifier, but I thought I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's kind of like a piercing, but
Yeah, but
this,
no.
okay, one, this has got to be uncomfortable. Hugging your friends, that's got to hurt. I mean, you can't just hug your friends and be like, hey, I got like.
It's making my bones vibrate.
I know.
don't like it.
Watching Terry watch this, which by the way, I was like, you cannot, I can't wait for you to see this because this is kind of disgusting.
I can't.
And Terry was like, I thought gonna vomit all over my couch.
I have an issue with bones. I just do. I can't stand it. And now my entire collarbone is vibrating and it's really bothering me.
So don't take Terry out for chicken wings.
So the only other thing I could think of as an actor, watching them act out that scene, I can't even imagine. Like, it's moments like that take a lot of talent to pull that off, because you have to imagine that without all of the special effects going on. It's literally just the two of them going like, oh, it's Maud.
Yeah.
So for them to be able to do that effectively takes a lot. So that's one of the things that I pay attention to.
I bet those bones actually were some kind of like prosthetic thing that they put on for sure.
They didn't actually put antlers into her collarbone.
Well, I didn't. I hope not.
I mean, that would be like
require some surgery, and that's some heavy acting. I mean,
it's true dedication to the craft.
Exactly. Hope to God you keep. God.
Typecasting.
Yeah, typecast. We now only can use you if you have bones coming out of your collar. That's really a short list of characters. Okay, so after we see that, we start to see a little bit about how the Darkling's just, he's got plans, he's evil, and he's had it planned this whole time. So this next short little scene, it's the crows in a field watching something blow up.
Well, they went back to Arkin's train thing.
Okay, yeah.
Like, they want to get back on it, and and Ned's just like, are you sure you know how to drive that thing? And Cass is like, duh. Like, I was paying attention the whole time, and they're both like, no. But what's funny in this scene is that Inej calls Jesper Jess.
Yeah.
And Cass is like, what? Why are we doing that? Stop trying to make Jess happen. We're so queer.
Yes.
All right.
Let's not make... Stop trying to make Jess happen.
So anyway, while they're arguing, the thing blows up, and it's a moot point anyway.
So why does it blow up?
I don't know. There's people over there.
Like, I mean,
did you notice?
Yeah, but
I don't know why it blows up.
Why does it blow up?
I don't know, but they're screwed now.
Okay, so we'll just move on past. Okay, so now we go.
We're just accepting it.
Yeah, accept it. So now we are now back at kind of like camp. We're at the side of the fold.
The fold camp.
Yes, the fold camp.
Ooh.
And we see Jenya for the first time. Jenya comes and visits Alina in her tent. She's got a shawl on because she doesn't want to see the bones protruding out of her neck. And this is interesting. Jenya gives away a lot. Jenya just says that she informed Alina first is like, I need you to get word to the king. The Darkling is bad, blah, blah, blah. And Jenny's like, King is sick. No way for you to get word to him. The queen is in hibernation because she don't want to get sick, but most likely because she just don't want to see him anymore. But Alina then starts to kind of put things together that Jenya has been a spy for the Darkling.
She's
the
also
whole
wearing red and blue at this point.
So,
is
why she's like really done, like, she finally got a color, and that means a lot to her. She has just been but see, when I think about it, I would love to just be like, I just think it'd be cool. I mean, I understand she wants to be part of the group, but I like the fact that she was like a tailor and had her own little thing.
Well, she has her own thing. There's no other person that wears red and blue.
I know.
Because it mixes the two colors together.
Right. So they're making her a heart render.
She said she doesn't like to wear red, so why doesn't she wear blue with red embroidery?
Because that'd be a
that's
summoner.
Flames. That's the
Inferni.
That's the Inferni one.
Yeah, she can't do that.
So never mind.
So she's just got to stick with the red.
She sticks with the red.
Hey, whatevs. Jenya talks about her chance to get revenge of the king because we hear a little bit more about this is I know it's
history.
in the yeah, I know it's in the short story called The Tailor. I'm not sure if it's mentioned in the book.
It is.
Okay. But how the king is just horrible and just like takes advantage, and obviously had taken advantage of Jenya.
Mm-hmm.
And Alina's just like, you have all your right in the world to take advantage of him. I mean, do whatever you need. He deserves that revenge. But Alina says this exact quote because like Jenya's trying to defend the Darkling. She obviously is still blind. And Alina says, Kirigan does not deserve your loyalty. He's just as responsible for your position. Jenya then says, I am his soldier. We all are. Alina, we are his pawns, nothing more. And Jenya just storms out.
Yeah, she's out.
Yep. And I'm not sure whether she storms out because she's just frustrated with it or it's making sense. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, but that brings us back to the crows, who, so the skiff is still there, obviously, and they've got to figure out a way to get on it. That's their new plan. So they're like, well, we're just going to get in disguise.
Yep.
And
They have to say, they have to figure out a way to get on the skiff. And then Jess and Inej think that he's up to something because Alina's going to be on the skiff. So they're like, are you sure you're not going to try to grab her again?
Right.
And Kaz is like, no, dude, I really just want to get across the fold. I promise. Cross my heart and hope to die. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
But Jesper is going to play a Zimini guard, apparently.
And of course, he always looks cute as hell.
Oh my gosh, yes, he does.
I love the outfit. So then, next scene where we watch Mal and the Darkling, and this actually will bring us to our last scene. I'm so excited we're doing scenes again, just because these are fun. And so this is the scene, and I will be playing the Darkling again, and Terry's gonna be playing Mal. And just so you know, the setup for this, Mal is chained up in that tent. Okay.
Yes.
And all of a sudden he looks up, and who's there? The Darkling. Okay. So
The Darkling.
Okay. So here we go.
You, bruh? You come here to kill me off, bruh?
No. How many times do I have to tell you people, I'm a man of my word. Well, sometimes maybe a little idle gossip didn't hurt no one. Just a little kiki.
And when does your word mean anything, bruh? Black heretic? That's right, bruh. I know who you are. And whatever you have planned for Alina, she won't forgive you, bruh. And if you keep me alive, I will hunt you down, and I'll claim the bounty the old king put on your head, bruh.
Alina has strong feelings for you. And you for her. Just a little tea between you and me. I read your letters. Juicy. Someone's been using a thesaurus. Anyways, all these years, you never truly appreciated who she is. But that's all right. Because I do.
You have no chance, bruh, Shadow Man. Because I'm the one she chose, bruh.
You are a child. And she is a Grisha. Take away my shadows, my pumps, and my glorious taste in fashion. Black really does give a girl a good figure. So again, take away all that, and I still have something that you don't. Patience. Alina may well take years to forgive me, but I can wait. Meanwhile, you will grow old. Ew. Your hair will gray, and she will remain ageless like me. Staying out of the sun and a little moisturizer day and night really goes a long way. And one day, maybe a year from now, maybe 50, she'll realize that she has only one equal. That there are no others like us. And that there never will be. I'm not going to kill you, Mal. I just got a spa treatment and my clothes steam, so no, I'm not going to be killing you. I don't need to. Time will do that for me.
You'll wish you killed me here, bruh.
Fabulous. You were so masked, girl. You my top. Wow.
Yes.
I don't even know who I was, but
Yourself?
I went with it. Is that what I do? Okay. So that brings us to the crows get their costumes and papers ready. And I'm sorry, earlier I said they look so cute. Yeah, this is now when you actually see that they're getting cute and stuff.
Jesper looking fresh.
He sure does. He always does.
Yeah.
And they're getting on the skiff.
Yep, they make it through.
Yep. And
Back to Mal.
now we have Mal, but this is Mal and Milo. Yay! Our lovely little Milo.
How did Milo get to the fold camp?
Which, by the way, I say this all the time, but I am psychic, y'all. Because look at our Instagram. I posted a picture of a goat way before the show came out, and it was just like, hey, blah, blah, whatever. I still think I am working on. Anyway, okay. So Mal sees Milo's got a cute little piece of jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to be a bullet. Didn't get it from Pandora or anything, but it's a bullet.
I'm assuming that was Jesper when he handed him off. He had the little bullet.
He put that little thing on to remind him. So he gets Milo to come over. He takes the bullet, and then he kind of like puts it in his like thing, and then like I guess
he puts the bullet in like the hinge.
So then I guess if you hit it really hard, it explodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that it would not. It would have hurt like all get out, probably blowing his freaking hand off.
Well, yeah, because his the attendant that's watching him like wakes up and he pretends like he's asleep, and then afterwards he's just like, ow.
I know, he's just like,
but like he just had a bullet explode in his hand.
It would have blown his freaking hand off, but whatever. We're in fantasy land here.
Exactly, it's the Grishaverse. It's Hollywood. Okay, so I'm guessing this is the next morning, or like right? Like
no.
I mean, like it's the same day.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
well,
the crows are in the dress that they're in to get onto the skiff.
Okay, his skiff.
The skiff.
So it's time to enter. It's time to get on the skiff. The Darkling and Alina leave the tent. Alina is covered in this black just cape no one can see.
Mm-hmm.
Alina says she's tired of his lies, and he says she's special and she will prove it to the world. She calls him out for creating the fold.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to take us to video 6.
To help us conquer the fold together. You and me. You cannot do this on your own. And neither can I.
We could have had this. All of it. You could have made me your equal. Instead, you made me this. You don't care who suffers as long as you win.
Fine. Make me your villain.
Girl, I'm dripping. Love it. That is an amazing line. Make me your villain. Oh, my God.
That's
fine.
one of the-
Make me your villain.
One of the big lines.
I know, that's why it had to be in there. So obviously, if you really are really great with the show, which probably you don't know as well as we skipped around a little bit, just a little
That's
bit.
fine.
Sorry, they didn't leave the tent yet, but now they do. So the Darkling finds out that Mal has escaped. Okay, so and he's like, well, if you find him, shoot him, kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're back, and Jesper's in line to get on this skiff.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, and the skiff boarding agent tells them, and so that I don't even think he's telling them. He just hears it, but says that you're considered whoever he's talking to. You're considered lucky. They are about to witness the destruction of the fold.
Yes.
So that's interesting. The crows watch, and Alina and the Darkling board the skiff.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's making the saint sign.
Yep, and when he takes off that robe that Alina is wearing a
Gold
kefta with black embroidery.
Yes.
But she got an ankle monitor on.
Yes.
I mean, she is attached to that boat. So thank God it's not like
she's like
no matter what, it's bad.
tethered like a puppy.
Yeah, he's got her stuck. She's shackled. Shackled. Okay. That's a great shackle. Shackles, that's a great Pride song. Look it up. June. Anyways.
But they kind of start like heading out, and then we hear the crows do their.
So that is the very last
thing.
Video that we have, and that's going to end us out. So we do real quickly just to make sure that we get this. Mal is hidden under the skiff.
Yes,
we see
Mal
that.
is in there.
And let's see. Darkwing tells Alina a lie that Mal is being protected in the camp, and that if she does everything that he expects her to do, he will be released. So Mal's escaped and is under that skiff. Now that takes us to our last video, and it actually is the very end of the episode. This is important. Watch, y'all.
If I'm meant to die today, and either of you two survive, make sure I have an open casket.
No one's dying today.
No mourners.
No funerals.
Bye-bye.
Toot.
See you later. Bon voyage.
Bon voyage. Good luck. So that's
That's it.
end of the episode, which actually drags out to obviously an amazing last episode, which we can't wait to cover. So it is that special, unique time for GrishaCast news! Pride! Yay!
I'm scared.
I know. Well, it used to go really well with the other music. I don't know if it did. I just did it for so long.
This is very calming, and then we're like, "Rah!"
I know, but you know what? Our fans like it. They love how excited I get over this. And thank that to my ADHD, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so mazel tov for me. Anyways, so we are now going to take it to our Grisha in the field. But unfortunately, Alex is not able to join us. So, and it's okay because really there isn't that much news except for one massive, extreme, huge piece of news. And what is that?
Season 2.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, can you hear now?
I can't
okay,
hear
I'm sorry.
anything
Well,
now.
it's okay. I'll just start singing. Yes, season 2 got confirmed.
Yes.
Actual confirmation. Season 2, it's going to be done. It's going to be filmed. It's going to be great. So much excitement there. I can't wait. 1, we get Wyland. 2, hopefully we get Nikolai. But 3, my question, how are they going to tie these stories together?
Yeah, because we're gonna have to still continue to get new Crow things because the book doesn't pick up until years after this trilogy. So we're gonna get we have to get new Crow stories. But I am like, I do love Wyland, but I am so excited about Nikolai.
Oh, I know. So I wonder if maybe, do you think there's a way to do Six of Crows in the same time period?
No.
I mean, they couldn't
because
just take things out?
Because it starts years after.
I know that, but I'm wondering if are there poignant parts besides the fact that they mention I'm just trying to figure out how they can do it because that's really hard. I mean, Siege and Storm is.
Well, we didn't know how they were going to do this one, so they'll
I know,
just
but we
keep
knew.
on.
But it was a prequel, so we knew they were going to be able to mix it. Now this is a conundrum. This really is oh, well, they have to. Yeah, this is really hard because Nikolai, I mean, you've read it. He's if at the end of Ruin and Rising, he's king. So
we're gonna have to see the beginning of Sturmond and some of Sturmond's adventures probably, which makes me excited.
Maybe they'll do the first half crunch Siege and Storm into Ruin and Rising.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just wondering. Siege and Storm is great. I love it. I wonder if maybe they just make it really fast and then go into Six of Crows or maybe they don't do Six of Crows at all. Maybe they continue this.
You can't do Six of Crows until after the death.
Yep, stop. Stop. You can't do Six of Crows.
That's why I just
we've already read. Well, no, we've already read that, so it's fine. We get in trouble if we cover stuff we haven't read yet. So Yeah.
I do
so
what I
yeah,
want.
you can't do.
So
So you can't do Six of
you
Crows.
can't do Six of Crows
Oh.
until after
But wait, stop. I forgot to tell
after
you.
the end because
I did finally. I got someone. I can't remember. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. There's someone I think on Facebook who messaged and said, just to let y'all know, I am one listener that is just watching from the show.
okay, well I didn't say
Yeah.
anything. So, but after
You
the
did it.
third
You did
book, then that's when the Six of Crows starts up because they talk about what happened at the end of the third book. So you can't mix that together. So we're going to have to continue to get new Crow content.
Yeah. And for you,
They might not moosh it together at all. It might just be we're following the characters in a side story. They don't have to moosh together.
but then why did they even bother with doing Nina and, I mean, Nikolai? Who knows? We're not psychic. Maybe I'll do my Lenormand reading.
They did Nina and Matthias. That
Sorry.
didn't tie into anything. It was just a side story, so you can continue to do that with the Crows. It doesn't have to moosh together.
Yeah, Nikolai's not even mentioned in any of this yet. Anyways, well, for that that viewer, that our listener that I butchered and don't have your name, I'm so sorry. I will make sure to next episode. I got you. So just, anyways, let's move on. We do have a list of listener thank yous. We've got listeners out there, girl. I know we pretend and forget that there's people out there, but there are. So, okay. So these are from our Instagram. Okay. So we've got Amusing Muses,
Jeff Hutton,
Juliana Coughlin,
Jess J.R. Hopkinson,
Elizabeth Laurel,
Rev Series,
Rebecca Wolthers,
Kayla Elizabeth,
and Melissa with Jelly Designs.
Woohoo.
Thank you. We love your support. Thanks. You bringing it. And yeah, we've got a lot of exciting stuff that actually we're just trying to finish planning. Just to let you know, our new website will be up soon. We have created our own quizzes. We have created one fully, I think. I just need to get it almost done. And what's going to be cool about this quiz is it will actually have, at the end of it, you'll be grouped into not only your Grisha order, but your sub order as well. And that's kind of cool. And then we also are going to have some kind of fun, like, I don't know if you youngins know about chain letters, but we've got this activity that we are going to try because, our obsession with Izumruud, that poor worm has been stuck down there under Ravka, like making tunnels for everybody, just looking for friends. So, well, anyways, we want to get, he deserves a way out. So if you paid attention to my craziness, I posted on Instagram this insane story to try to get you guys wondering where Izumruud's missing. He ain't under there anymore. Where is he? Well, he's going on his world tour. And you know who's going to help with that? You. So, more to come. We've got this amazing Izumruud that we are going to take pictures of. Terry and I are going to start it off. We're going to go and take a picture somewhere famous with us and then use a hashtag Izumruud's World Tour. And then we're going to send him off to another GrishaCast listener that wants to do the same thing. And we're going to send him around and take pictures and watch him show up. And he's really cute. I mean, I want to try to show you without trying to take my ear.
It's like the sisterhood of the traveling worm.
This is him. This is our Izumruud. He's cute. So we're going to put a little bit more together. We're going to give him a passport, put some of the details into it. But just letting you know that's coming. So real quickly, actually, if you are really interested in being a part of this and would love to get Izumruud, take a picture, and have a friend that will do this.
You would have to be willing to ship him on.
Yes.
To his next destination.
Exactly. So we've got to make sure that this is only going to people that are wanting to do this.
So it would be, basically, it would go to the next person on the list. We would give you the next person on the list, and you would be willing to send them on.
Yeah, and we haven't figured all that out. We're having a list so we at least know that we've got people that want to be a part of it. You also, like, I think we're going to be able to, like, if you have a friend that you definitely want to send it to. Anyways, it's going to be fun. We're going to see how far around the world we can ship Izumrude and watch him travel around the world. That'll be kind of cool. So, anyway, stay tuned. We'll get more of the specifics about that here soon. So, anyways, stay tuned for next week. It is our very last episode. Covering
of the TV show.
Of the show.
It's not our last episode.
Right. But if you haven't already, go to GrishaCast.com. We are having a poll about what book to cover next. Pretty sure it's leaning already in one direction. But if you are interested, go to GrishaCast.com. There's a poll on there, and you can vote. It's between Rule of Wolves, Lives of Saints, and The Language of Thorns.
Who's winning right now?
I'm not going to say.
That's not fair.
I know. But pick what you want because it doesn't matter. Like, that's the thing. The Language of Thorns and Lives of Saints are are books that enhance the story, and they would be really cool to read.
So he's swaying your vote right now is what he's doing.
I'm just saying.
This is what
No, I'm
he's
not.
like.
But they'd be cool to read after. It's just, like, you'd get... They're Easter eggs in Lives of Saints, and they're cool to see afterwards, too. No matter where we go, it doesn't matter. But anyways, thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week with our last episode for the show, and we can't wait till we start reading again. And, yeah, so we love you guys. Bye!
Bye-bye!
Like, we're at the end of the hour, so my voice is a little husky. A plus.
No mourners.
No funerals.
This has been GrishaCast. Connect with us on the web at GrishaCast.com. Send an email to info@GrishaCast.com.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Patreon at GrishaCast.
A very special thank you to our GrishaCast staff, Chris, Alex, Sid, Michelle, and Amber. Happy Pride! Woo!